why is it this big myth that SC can't go into the Big Ten and win? Like I remember when we had Hilton and we went, I forget what year it was, and we went to Minnesota, smashed. I mean, we've been kicking Big Ten ASS for a long time. You know, if you look at past Rose Bowls, and I just don't understand where it's this, how is SC going to compete? I understand it's a trench game, but even when we had average trenches, we was beating Big Ten teams. So I just don't understand where all this myth is coming in that SC can't compete because we're going to the Big Ten. I actually think we're going to do very well just because of the style of play that we do. You know, I don't think, weather is going to be a big deal because, a lot of those games are going to be played in Southern California. But, I'll drop off and let y'all speak on this one. I appreciate y'all. But I just don't get the logic that we can't go in there and compete year one. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for accepting the call.
Oh, anytime, James. Thank you for calling. Fight on. Appreciate you calling in from North Carolina. Well, I mean, I'm not conceding it. Do I think we're going to lose games? I mean, I think we are. I think that we're behind roster-wise and the depth-wise, and I don't think that they have the depth that we needed to build on the lines in order to make me say, oh, yeah, 10 wins for sure. I think on the outside, I think someone talked about, who was it? Sorry, I forget your name. About our secondary. I think our secondary is going to be something really special this year. I really, really do. And we know our receivers are lights out. Someone also talked about our running backs. I mean, our running backs room is full of talent. I think Miller Moss is going to have to show that he can repeat what he did, but I have faith in him. Where I stopped short and why I think that we may not have the kind of season that we've had and the kind of success that we've always had against the Big Ten is because the Big Ten matchups we're talking about, usually USC was just massive on both lines and 3-4 guys deep with, all conference players. I don't believe we're there yet in year two under Lincoln Riley. I think that the hole that Clay Helton left for Lincoln Riley roster wise is going to take some time to build out of. They've been trying to cobble it together with the portal. We saw it kind of work okay the first year. But then the second year, we saw that, bringing in guys, although they were talented at their places they came from, it just didn't work on the line. There's just so much to talk about with why I think that it's going to be, like Matt saying, a 9-3 kind of season. Now, hey, look, that can all change. When we look at LSU and these young players, we're talking about the defensive line. Carlin Jones is coming in. This is a very talented young man, big guy, big dude, 300 pounds already. He comes in freshman ready to play, on the interior line. That's some more depth that we were talking about. So I don't really know the crystal ball, Matt. I mean, we know that we're going to be talented. Will we have the depth to make it through 12 games? I think that we're front loaded with the more difficult games, which is a good thing. But at the same time, I don't think we're going to be able to have the kind of depth we need in the middle, especially on the lines. What do you think?
I mean, there is Gavin Meyer, but that's not like the answer to all our problems. I mean, it's a piece, it's something more, but I don't think it certainly, fills in everything that's left. I still think USC is going to be shorthanded, and in the Big Ten, which is a rugged conference, I mean, not that the Pac-12 was a bunch of pansies. It certainly wasn't. It was high-level football. But the Big Ten does involve a very physical style of play. You want to be able to rotate bodies in and out as liberally as you reasonably can. So I don't think the depth is quite there. But the hope is that Coach Henne will coach them up as well as humanly possible. By the way, Jeff Rodriguez, great supporter, friend of the show, he said that the offensive line is the main concern for him. I think that's valid, because Josh Henson, I think, has more to prove than Eric Henderson does. And so, if Josh Henson does the job, you could say, if that one assistant coach, hits the mark, USC football is going to have a great season. I think that's a sound thesis by Jeff. But nevertheless, I don't think that the defensive line depth right now is there. Can Coach Henne make up the difference with his player development? That's what we all got to hope. That's where we are at USC.
We don't have the depth because we don't know about the true freshmen coming in. We don't know what Ajide I just said his name a second ago. Abasiri is going to be able to do coming as a freshman. We don't know what Carlin Jones is going to be like when he comes in. If those two pieces that we're not counting on can somehow be counted on, that changes everything, right? And so we've seen, again, what Rachel Zuba can do. We've seen what Betty Wiley could do. We know that Eric Henderson and Sean Newell could get them ready. It's just going to depend. I mean, I really wish that Carlin Jones could have came in for the spring. That would have been optimal. Jeff, with a great point. I'm not forgetting about the offensive line. I'm bullish and excited about them, but you're very right. I'm just going off of what I've seen them and limited do. They look the part. They played together. They seem like they have that nasty streak to them. I haven't seen what kind of technicians they are because it's a very important thing. We haven't seen what Hayden Treater, the Man Mountain, friend of the show, will be doing when he gets there. So there's a lot. That's why I keep saying, hey, guys, let's cool our jets. Let's see what we're going to get on the field. We're going to know there's going to be a lot of answers in the first 3 weeks at USC, because in week 1, you got to dive right into it. And we're going to see what we have up front. Because Brian Kelly is going to go right at that line, both lines. And, one thing I do know is that they do have some pretty good tackles at LSU. So that's going to test them early. Then we're going to have Utah State, where we're probably going to see a lot of these younger guys playing. I think you're going to be able to get a gauge on the depth and the backups at that point. And then the big test is how are they going to stand up to the rushing attack of Michigan in week 3. That's your litmus test. You're going to be able to see, because I don't think we're going to see another offense that will challenge our defense like that team will do in Ann Arbor. Not because they're going to throw the ball in our place, but they're going to run right at our weakness. They're going to run right at us. And I think that's what we'll know. Do we have the guys up front? Is our front 7 turn the corner, and can we play smash mouth football in the Big Ten? That's going to be our big test.